Ahoy, all you shipmates, you YouTubers, and you Facebookers. Captain Jack, along with Billy Bones, the parrot, with true tales from the islands. Jenny and I were fortunate enough to live about 10 years on St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands, where she owned and ran a large property management firm, and I ran a large yacht. The islanders are some of the most loving and caring and friendly people in the world, with no doubt. I definitely love them. Well, during these 10 years, many things happened. This was back before things got modern. Things happen on the island in a different way than they happen here on the mainland because the people think differently. You know, when you live in a benign atmosphere where it's not too hot, it's not ever cold, and it rains a few minutes every day, and the sun shines, and you've got three of the most famous beaches in the world on your island, you can pretty well lay back and enjoy it. So the things they do sometimes may not they would sound fictitious to us here in the mainland. Had we never lived there, we would just think they were out and out made up stories. These are all true stories. And the first story I'm going to tell you in this series of Tales from the Island is going to be about Jack. Now, this is Jack, who was a captain of a sailing boat. And he took tourists around the island. They'd go over to Virgin Gorda, to the baths in Virgin Gorda, King Garden Bay, which is very famous. You know, our friend Jimmy Buffett wrote a great song about King Garden Bay. And he was a good sailboat captain if it weren't for the fact that he had 30 years of very, very hard drinking. Jack woke up in the morning and started his day with a drink. And he usually ended the day very after midnight with a drink, and he'd been drinking all the way through. Well, it came to the point where his long time girlfriend told him, Jack, it's you or the liquor. One of y'all is going to have to leave. Well, Jack decided to stop drinking. Now that's hard for a person who's been drinking now for 30 or 40 years. But Jack did it. He cold turkey walked away from it. And we were so proud of Jack. We were just so very proud of him. Well, one day, Jack was sitting on the bar on the beach. Now, you know, the bars in the Virgin Islands on the beach are just some poles and some coconut fronds and an extension cord that runs up to the nearest power to run the coolers for cold beer. And Jack was sitting there himself, and the only other person was, of course, the bartender. This was his girlfriend's adult son. And they were sitting there chatting. Jack was drinking a Coca-Cola. And just sitting, and all of a sudden, Jack falls straight down, face down on the bar, cold stone graveyard dead. He had evidently had a massive heart attack, died instantly. So, of course, the word on a little island where everybody knows everybody, the word about this was out in a matter of minutes. I guess the people from the dive shop told the people from the la, and everybody knows and was, oh my God, what a terrible thing. So Jack had always said, I want to be buried at sea. Well, we've got a sea. It's called the Caribbean, and we've got a lot of it. So we decided to honor Jack by having many of us go out and with our little GPSs, our handheld GPSs, and put him down right where we knew he would be for the rest of time. Well, there's something wrong here because all of a sudden the people at the bar said, I tell you what, it'll be free refreshments on us. That's what we can do for y'all taking him out to sea and burying him. So about 9 o'clock in the morning, people gathered for the free refreshments. And about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they were refreshed as they could be. Now, I personally don't drink. I have drank before, but I don't drink now. I haven't drank in 30 years, probably 40 years. So I was about the only one there that really could see straight. Well, all the ferry boats had been commandeered. They all said, "That's free. Come on, everybody, jump on the ferry boat." All the people in there on their sailboats, we're going to go to the motor yachts. All we're going to go, we're going to go. And they asked me to run the Nicky, which is a small ferry boat. The ferry boats down there are converted, or were in those days, are converted from offshore drilling vessels that you see off in the oil patch off of Texas and Louisiana, places like that. So everybody gets aboard and off we go. Brr. Now I don't have Jack's body on board the Nicky. He's on board the Missy, which is a sister ferry. I couldn't say the word. Everybody goes out, and of course they brought drinks with them, so this is really a thing, you know. We go out and we get about 2.5 miles off the beach, I guess, something like that, out towards Cruz Bay, and out from Cruz Bay rather. So we get out there. Everybody's looking at their GPS, and we're saying, please, not everybody run to the port side or the starboard side and look, because you know you're going to make these boats really, really unstable. Everybody did anyway. Splash! Jack hits the water. 14 or 15 GPSs know exactly where Jack will spend the rest of time, and we all circle around, make a little circular motion around, and head back to Cruz Bay. Tie up in Cruz Bay. A good time was held by all. Everybody had a great time. Yay, except Jack, of course. He might have had a good time too. Yay, yay, yay. Well, a year passes and a lot of things happen on the islands. A lot of wonderful things happen. It's almost getting to be 1 year from the time we buried Jack at sea. So somebody in the community, I don't remember who it was, maybe Sydney did it, I don't know who did it, but somebody said, let's have like a little regatta or something like that, and let's just go out to Jack's burial site. You know, we'll throw flowers in the ocean or something like that. Yay! Great deal, because remember, we don't have television, we don't have movies, we don't have any of that. This is just a little island with just a little island. That's it. If you can't make your own entertainment, you're out of entertainment. So this is a great deal. Everybody says yay. So here we all go. People, this time the bar did not furnish refreshments, but people came refreshed. Well, the people down in Coral Bay, which is a little community of about 10 or 15 people, down at the other end of the island, which is 3.5 miles long, they had a t-shirt making thing. So they made up a bunch of t-shirts. I think they made about 5 dozen or something like that. Well, and they sold these, and I think they were about $5 or $7.50, whatever they were. They sold out instantly. And a lot of the tourists said, we want to go, what's happening, we want to go. So come on, get on board, we're going to go out and we're going to sail around where we put Jack in the water, okay, because we all know, because we got our GPSs. We're going to leave here, we're going to sail around Jack, and we're going to sail back in a lined up procession, much like you do the blessing of the shrimp boats in Biloxi, Mississippi, and New Orleans, and Cameron, Louisiana, places like that. We're going to line up and come in, and yay, we all did it. So they said they would, and we did. We get on, and I was running the, I don't remember which one. It was not the Nicky or the Missy. It was one of the other, the large ferries. And so I ran that for them, and we all go out. Everybody having a good time. Yay, yay, yay. And some people brought some flowers, and they threw them out over the side. And the tourists were bewildered, but they were drinking Crucian rum, which is 180 proof raw rum. It costs $2.50 a fifth, and it'll kill you. And so they were pretty well, you know, rum and coked all they could do. Went around, we came back, we lined up. Everybody's just trying to get in a line. We're not really jockeying positions. We're just trying to get in. Big boats in first, please. Little boats can tie up next to us. In we go, and a good time was had by all. Now, I have lost my t-shirt, and I had one of the souvenir t-shirts. But I've drawn here, and let me show you what the t-shirt looked like. Jack in the Box, First Annual Regatta, St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands. This is a true story. There's not any fibbing in this. This is a true story. Now, before I sign off, I want to be sure and tell you that Billy Bones has been getting some emails from some lost, forlorn, sick, lame, lazy, malingering, or otherwise troubled people. And I'll be reading parts of the emails, because some of them, I'm not going to read all that they said, and then Billy will, of course, have the answers to those. And until we see again, either on Captain Jack 2, Captain Jack's Travels, or True Tales from the Islands, adios from Billy Bones and myself, Captain Jack.